Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today we are doing a pretty big haul of a bunch of affordable activewear. I say this all the time on my channel, but you do not have to spend a ton of money to get high quality activewear. And today we have a bunch of affordable high quality activewear. The pieces are around $20 to $30. And I have a couple new brands that have really impressed me lately that I wanted to share with you guys because nothing is better than a new affordable brand that I'm excited about, that's having fun, unique designs. And this channel was literally founded on reviewing affordable activewear, so I can't be more excited. We also have some brands that I've loved forever now doing no front seams. So sign me up. Without further ado, let's get into the pieces. One of the very first affordable legging brands I ever reviewed on this channel that was one of my all-time favorites for years was Colorfulkoala, but I kind of had to leave them behind for a while because they just would not get rid of their front seam, and we've been doing no front seam leggings around here for like 4 or 5 years. So when I saw recently that they are now doing a no front seam legging from Colorfulkoala, I was so excited. These are the Colorfulkoala Dreamlux no front seam leggings. They're coming in a 25 and a 28 inch inseam, so tall girl friendly. I did get the size small 28 inch inseam, and these are $32, a little bit more expensive than I think Colorfulkoala started as, but still definitely in that affordable range. Very basic shape going on with these. The Dreamlux material is a super lightweight, very slightly brushed fabric, so it's soft to the touch and gives you that really light compression, naked feel. I honestly think this is one of the closest fabrics to like OG Lululemon line. Here's a close-up of that fabric. Very, very lightly brushed, super thin, and has a ton of stretch. We have a double thickness waistband with no top band, no front seam of course, and the gusset is extended down the leg. Then we get to the back, we do have a little Colorfulkoala reflective logo. The seams are not super pronounced around the glutes. They're basically just kind of flat across, maybe a teeny bit of contour going on, but very minimal. And one final fun feature, they love to put a little pocket on the inside of their waistbands. So I can't believe it only took them like 4 years, 5 years. I don't know how long I've been doing this, guys. Feels like a long time, but I'm so excited to finally have a no front seam legging from them. Okay guys, I cannot tell you how excited I am to finally have a no front seam legging from Colorfulkoala. And this is giving me a different appreciation for the Dreamlux fabric. It's super, super lightweight and naked feel. Definitely something I would pick for a low impact workout. Like this is something I would wear to like my solid core class. Definitely could wear it to the gym if you like a super low compression legging, but these are definitely low compression. They're just about a high rise, maybe a tiny bit higher, but these definitely run a little bit big, kind of a boxier fit. So just knowing how these leggings fit me, like they fit similar to CRZ Yoga and the Ingia leggings, where I've been preferring a size down recently. So actually I would size down to an extra small in these, and I would recommend that. I think I'll still get a light compression, but a little bit more hold. We have that double thickness waistband with no top band, and Colorfulkoala always likes to put that little inner pocket in the waistband there, so you get a little storage in there. No side seams, and then in the back, the seams, I would not say they're curved above the glutes. They are just a very slight angle. So I'm just gonna say medium on the booty scale. There's really not a lot enhancing here, but they're definitely not squishing down, and you probably won't get a ton of cellulite coverage because these are a little bit thinner, but they do have a slight brushed layer to them. And even though these are so light compression, they do feel like they are hugging my body and not being saggy anywhere. And then also very excited to see they come in a 25 and a 28 inch inseam. So they are tall girl friendly. I definitely will be sizing down in these. I hope to see them in more fun colors, but I definitely will be wearing this to my solid core classes. To go with those leggings, we also got a Colorfulkoala Dreamlux strappy sports bra. I got the size small, and this was $28. Made of that soft Dreamlux material, we have these 2 little straps that go up and then give you a little strappy design in the back. There's just a little band along the bottom to keep you secure, and then in the back we do have an elastic. And then what intrigued me about this bra is that the whole inside of the bra actually has molded cup padding, which I really rarely see. I feel like there's definitely pros and cons to this. Pros, you never have to take out the pads, they never get crinkled, but the cons are it's definitely made for like one cup size, so if you're not that exact cup size, it can be a little difficult. So let's try this on. So been a while since I've tried a molded cup bra. I think molded padding like this can be a little bit difficult because it's definitely made for like 1 or 2 cup sizes, and then trying to expand that to everyone is tough. So I definitely feel like I'm spilling out of it just a little bit, like the cup padding ends here and my bust comes out on the side there. So I think if you're here kind of above like a D, double D cup. It may not be perfect, but I still think this is wearable for me. Short line sports bra, there's a little band at the bottom and this pretty pronounced sweetheart neckline. Then we have these double spaghetti straps sewn on. I'd say overall the coverage here is medium to full, just a little bit of side boob poking out. I feel like the only thing I don't love with that molded cap padding is it is pretty pronounced and you can see it on the side there. And then we have this cute little strappy detail in the back. And then we have a super cute strappy design going on in the back. The support is not a ton. It's pretty much low to medium support, but still enough to contain me in most of my workouts. So still something I would wear. Just if you are a really small cup size or a really large cup size, you may just have some fit issues with that molded padding. All right, next we have a brand that I've been wanting to try for a long time. I think they've even like emailed me. I get a lot of emails about brands wanting me to try their leggings, but sometimes when they're like affordable brands, I'm just like, I'll just get it myself. But I've been seeing their stuff for a while now and I've been dying to try them. This is the brand Unissu, I don't know, but this is their Hug Curve line. Usually when I see affordable leggings, if they're going to have no front seam, they're usually pretty basic, like we just saw with the Colorful Koala. No front seam, but just very plain, straight across, a little bit of a boxier fit, and the seams in the back tend to be pretty flat across as well. This brand has some more stuff going on, so I was very excited to try. I got a size small and these are $32, so same price as the Colorful Koalas. And the fabric on these is a brushed material, but it's a little bit thicker, has a little bit more compression. So I'm not saying it's exactly like it, but a little bit more like something like a Buff Bunny Nubri rather than like a Lululemon Align. Here's a close-up of that fabric, super dense, lightly brushed, and just has some good hold to it. Personally, I prefer a fabric like this. I just feel like it hugs your body a little bit better. So we have no top band and the front of the waistband has a nice little dip down to it. I generally just find this to be a flattering shape. We just have a typical triangle gusset, and then in the back, they really went ham with some curved glute seams. So just something a little bit different, a little bit exciting that we don't always see on an affordable legging. And also no side seams on this one. And the inseam is going to be 25 inches. So I got this fun red color, but they actually have quite a few colors. Let's try them on. Okay, I rolled up the top a little bit. I can't believe it's taken me so long to try these leggings. I've been looking at them on Amazon for probably 6 months now, and I love them. Like these might be one of the best shapes of an Amazon legging. These remind me a lot of the Camo Fitness Serenity leggings, except with slightly different seams, but overall very similar feel. So if you like those, you're gonna really like these. The fabric has a nice brushed feel, but it's not too fuzzy. Like I can tell we're not going to get pilling. It has that nice, really dense feel. So a little bit more compression than those Colorful Koalas. We have the perfect high rise. It hits right at the small of my waist, and the front of the waistband dips down a little bit. It's just a little bit flattering there. Little triangle gusset, no front seam, no side seams as well, and really nice curved seams around the glutes. This is something I feel like a lot of affordable brands just don't take the time to do a nice little contoured seam, and just a regular seam up the back, no scrunches, which is another thing I'm learning to appreciate because I'm sick and tired of all the camel toe I've been getting recently. I'm just so tired of it. So I really just like that these are just like a plain legging in the back. They're still flattering, medium to high on the booty scale, and you're gonna get a little extra cellulite coverage because this fabric is a little bit thicker, a little bit more dense. True to size, but I honestly think I could probably size down in these, and I probably will next time. I just feel like the waist isn't as compressive as it's supposed to be, so you can go either way, but I'd probably recommend sizing down if you like a little bit more compression. Overall, the compression right now is like light to medium, but I think it really should be like a medium to high. And then the full-length view of these. I love these. I think these are great. I wish they had just like a matching plain sports bra and not just the tank, because I don't always like to wear tanks like this, but I would definitely be keeping my eyes out for what else this brand has to offer. To go with those leggings, we have the Unissu Hug Curve adjustable longline sports bra. I got a size small and this was $30. They do also have a sports bra version. I think I would have preferred that, but I think it didn't come in the red. So same Hug Curve fabric that we had on the last one. This is going to be a cropped length, not quite waist length, but it's not sports bra length. So you have a couple inches. The sports bra on the inside comes here and you have about 3 to 4 inches below that. Nice thick elasticated straps, and they are adjustable. And then you also have a full built-in shelf liner with an underbust elastic and removable cups. Let's try it on. We have a visitor. We have a Peach has been on some antibiotics because they found some microorganisms in her stool. So she doesn't enjoy taking her antibiotics, even though I got her special chicken flavored ones. But she's doing a lot better. All right, that does a little cat fur test for us. It is brushed, so it does collect some fur, but not too bad. Anyways, here we are with the long line bra. I would consider this more of a built-in bra top, but we have a wide scooping neckline. Pretty good coverage. I'd say medium to full coverage. Great side boob, maybe just a peak of cleavage out the top. I'd say go with your bra size because we do have that full built-in bra with the removable cups, but I am getting a little bit of looseness in the bottom here. This is something that often happens to me, so you could size down if you tend to have this kind of gaping. I love how thick the elastic straps are. They give some good support. They're not so skinny that they're digging in. The support is low to medium. I wouldn't do anything high impact in this. And the length is definitely cropped. It's above waist length, so keep that in mind. It's definitely a little bit longer of a crop, but not full meet and greet length. If you do have a short torso, this probably will get close to that though. And then I love how the straps are adjustable in the back. I think this is a nice alternative to the typical Align tank style top. I like the shape of this. I know I'm not going to fall out of it, so I feel nice and secure, and I would definitely wear this. Also, I looked it up. They do have just a plain sports bra without the actual like long line portion. It just didn't come in this color. So next we have a brand that I have reviewed a couple times recently, but they've been like my favorite affordable brand recently. The brand is Ingia. This has been my go-to for my solid core workouts. It's just giving like Pilates girl. And I just feel like compared to other Amazon brands, I don't really see a lot of people doing what they're doing. So I've been loving their stuff, and I do have a couple new pieces from them. So we're just gonna quickly go through. First of all, I believe I have reviewed this one before, but this is their halter longline sports bra. Of all of their sports bras, they tend to be pretty low coverage, unfortunately, but this one is one that actually does have a little bit better coverage. I got a size small. This one is $26, and their fabrics are kind of similar to the Colorfulkoala Dreamlux, but slightly more sleek feeling. You can see it's not super shiny, but it's just not quite as brushed. So very lightweight, very naked feel. I'm not a huge halter girly, but I like this one because of the extra coverage. We have a little V-neck, removable cups, and nice underbust elastic, but it looks seamless from the outside. And here is a close-up of their fabric. Let's try it on. All right, this is their long line halter sports bra. If you have a larger bust, it's really not long line at all, but I wish they had this much coverage in all of their bras because this one is so flattering. Nice solid band that goes right under the bust, sits nice and securely. Good side boob coverage. You do have a scooping neckline with a little cleavage moment, but I've worn this one to solid core where I am horizontal leaning over for a lot of the time, and the most important thing to me is that I don't fall out of my sports bra, and have never fallen out of this one, so I love that. But this one's definitely not too tight. It's made of their lightweight stretchy fabric. The support is more on the light to medium side, not horrible, but I wouldn't do anything crazy in it. And then the back is very scooping, very open. I've gotten questions on what my favorite larger cup size bra from Ingia is, and this is definitely the one. True to size, if you're in between, I'd probably size down. And then they just came out with these 2-in-1 running shorts. And you guys know, now that I run, I'm pretty picky about my running shorts. I still have been running in leggings because it's kind of cold out, but we'll see when it comes summertime. So I got a size small in these, and they have a nice lightweight soft shell material, and it doesn't feel super noisy, which is nice. About a 2.75 inch inseam on the outer shorts as well as on the inner shorts. On the right back side, there is a little zip pocket. I tend not to put too much in the outer zip pockets on running shorts because it just moves around a lot. And then the inner shorts have no front seam, which I used to not really care if there's a front seam or not in the inner shorts, but sometimes that front seam just wants to like be places where you don't want it to be. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that they had pockets on the inner shorts too. And we have 2 extra pockets, one on each side of those inner shorts. So that is so essential to me because that little outer pocket just really doesn't hold very much. So let's try them on. All right, here are the shorts. Loving the rise. They go just a little bit over the belly button, and I was kind of nervous because there was no drawstring in here, but the waist sits very comfortably against my natural waist without squeezing me. So I like that. I think the outer short actually has some good flow to it without being diapery. We have a little scoop at the side, but it's not like something that fully opens. And then you also have those shorts on the inside, so you're still getting good coverage. I think the length is actually really good on these as well. I'm not seeing too much of the inner shorts poke through, but you definitely know that they're there. I love how these have inner pockets, just so much extra storage, and then you have that zippered pocket as well. Pretty good space in there. I'd probably just put something like keys or something in here. And then here's the back. They're definitely short shorts on the inside, but it's covering my cheeks. I like that the outer fabric has a little bit of stretch to it, but isn't super noisy. I usually choose not to run in shorts with the short liner, but this is probably something something that I would choose for walking, and both of the layers are super lightweight, so I don't think it would overheat me in the Arizona heat. So I think these are actually really good. Then I got a couple more pieces. I have tried these before, but because their pieces can be so stretchy, I'm actually trying a size down. So this is their spaghetti strap tank. I love the length of this. It's a meet and greet length, so no skin showing. Nice elasticated spaghetti straps. And I have already tried this in the small, but it's a little bit loose in the waist area. So this is the extra small, and we have the full built-in bra with cup pads. So let's try it on. Okay, this is so much better in the extra small. First of all, meet and greet length. Just love the extra length. So many crops are just, you know, they're just too cropped, and this is just the best length for me. So my long torso girlies, you should be able to get full coverage with this tank and the leggings. This is the extra small, and I'm feeling a little bit more supported up at the top here, and the waist area is fitting well without being too compressive, but it's not baggy. In the small, I was getting just some looseness, and I just prefer to have a snug fit, so I would recommend sizing down. We do have that full built-in bra with removable cups. In the white, I am seeing the cups a little bit. I think they could definitely improve their cups. I don't mind the shape, but they are just a little bit rigid, so it just makes it a little bit too easy to see. So waist length, I'd give this a medium coverage up at the top. Spaghetti straps, so definitely low support. Just a little crisscross strap in the back. And yeah, they have this in a ton of colors too, so you can definitely match it with the leggings or the shorts, whatever you want to do, but I've been really liking this top. And then their leggings. I also got these in an extra small. Again, something about affordable brands, especially Amazon brands, I feel like they can run just like a little bit big in the leggings. I am not typically an extra small, but I feel like these are going to fit me well. So we have a straight across waistband, no front seam, extended gusset here, very slightly contoured seams in the back. These are actually very similar to the Colorfulkoala Dreamlux, except the fabric, like I said, just a little bit less brushed. Here's a close-up of the fabric. Very, very stretchy, very lightweight. Normally, I am not a big fan of this fabric. It's kind of like the Buff Bunny butter material, except I have not had any pilling issues so far, but I've just been really loving wearing this to my solid core classes just because you're moving around a lot, and I actually really appreciate like a very lightweight legging for that. So expanding the types of workouts I do has really made me appreciate different types of leggings and materials. So let's try these on. All right, you guys, I'm so glad I sized down to the extra small because the waistband is just giving a little bit more compression, so I feel like they'll stay up a little bit better. I was always wearing these for low impact workouts, so I never really had an issue with the sliding down, but I could definitely see it being a problem in my normal size. So I will do a side by side of an extra small versus a small, but I'm loving how these fit. Really great high rise, hits the small of my waist. There is a little hidden pocket in the waistband as well. Straight across, no front seam, extended gusset. In a size small, I get a low compression. These I'm getting about a low to medium compression. And the fabric is very lightweight, very naked feel, and just has a tiny little layer of brushness to it, but they almost do kind of feel sleek. No side seams. The seams go slightly above the glutes in the back. Because these are so lightweight and contour the body so well, I'm gonna give them a medium high on the booty scale. Even though they don't really have a lot of enhancing elements, I do feel like they're flattering. Not a ton of cellulite coverage though, because these are quite thin. And then full length, these are a 25-inch inseam, but they're very stretchy, so they do fit a little bit longer. So I would recommend sizing down in these if you like a little bit more hold, but if you want a super low compression, you can definitely stick with your normal size. Then super quick, I just wanted to go over one more pair of shorts from them. They launched the cutest little baby pink around Valentine's Day. These are their V-waist shorts, and I feel like everyone's trying to do like the V-back leggings and things like that, but you always end up like showing your underwear. I felt like this was a creative way to do it without actually dipping the actual back of the waistband. So these are just a little 4-inch short made of that same ultra soft material, no front seam, extended gusset, generally a little bit too short for my liking, but I still wanted to share them. There is a little top band here, and then you just have this little elastic that creates this little V waist. It looks kind of funny until you try it on, so let me try it on for you. All right, here are the shorts, 4-inch inseam, but they're super stretchy. Definitely low compression. True to size, you can go either way if you're in between. Without these little bands, it's about a mid-rise, but this kind of brings it up a little bit. This definitely isn't like my typical short, and it's not something that I think I would reach for a lot, but I just feel like this is like an alternative to the V-waist trend where I hate the V-back leggings that are like about to show my underwear. This isn't doing that, but it's like, it's something, you know? There is a little bit of a top band here, and then this is an elastic, so it goes up to the small of your waist. I'm not getting a lot of squeezing here, but you definitely could get some squeezing out in this area, so I probably wouldn't size down in these for that reason. And then the seams go slightly above the glutes in the back. We're just gonna do a medium on the booty scale for these. You get that little V back effect, and I can imagine this baby pink might be a little bit sheer, but it is such a cute color. I would have loved to see this baby pink in a legging as well. Ingia is also the brand that has the cutest and probably the best wrap sweaters I've seen. I feel like I've seen other people post about little like affordable wrap sweaters, but the quality quality and the material of the Ingia ones are just so much better, and they're like all sold out right now. So I've been waiting for them to restock because the baby pink one is so cute. I'll insert a little video. All right, next we have another newish affordable brand. I recently tried their leggings in my running legging review, but they have some different fabrics as well, so I wanted to share. These are from Pavoi, and Pavoi, if you've ever heard of them before, they're actually like a jewelry brand. I'm actually wearing their earrings. They make like actually pretty decent quality, affordable jewelry, and they started making activewear, which at first I was like, I don't know about that, but their activewear has actually been pretty decent. So these are the Pavoi Active FlexFlow 6-inch shorts. FlexFlow is a material, so in my running legging review, I reviewed their high perform leggings, and those are like a sleek performance. This is more of a dense compressive material. Here's an up close of that material, just a little bit of a brushed layer. Good stretch, but definitely going to have a little bit of compression. The material kind of reminds me of like OG Camo Fitness Serenity. I got the 6-inch version, but they also come in a 4-inch. We have a double thickness waistband. Actually looks like the waistband is slightly tapered, which as we've seen today, seems like everyone's just doing these like kind of boxier waistbands. I definitely prefer a slight taper to my waistband. Flat across waistband in the front, just a regular triangle gusset on these. And we do have some contoured seams in the back. They're not quite as dramatically curved as the Hug Curve, the Unissu, and I love their branding. It's a very subtle silicone tonal branding, which I feel like, again, don't see a lot in affordable brands. And they also have an elastic up the back rise as a little hidden scrunch to give a little separation to the glutes in the back. I did try their leggings maybe like, it feels like 6 months ago, probably at this point, and they had a little bit too much of a scrunch action going on. So I like that this is a little bit more subtle. So let's try these on. All right, here are the shorts. Loving how these are fitting compared to most of the other brands today. This definitely is fitting a little bit more snug, but I'm loving how the waist is feeling snatched, but not squeezed. So true to size for solid medium compression on these. But if you're in between sizes, I would probably size up because this definitely is a little bit more hold, a little bit more snug of a fit than the other brands. Perfect rise. I love a high rise that hits right around the belly button area. No top band, no front seam, and the 6-inch length is perfect. Has enough hold at the bottom where I feel like these are still gonna be nice and thick thigh friendly, but not ride up. Honestly, these might be good running shorts. When I first started running, I was like, no brushed fabrics, but they kind of just stay up better. So actually really loving how these fit. These do have a side seam, but I think that's actually just contributing to some of the nice hold this is giving. And then we have those contoured seams in the back, hidden scrunch. This fabric is pretty dense, so you're not getting a lot of glute separation, but because of that, I'm also not getting any wedgies, any camel in the front. So just a little bit of added contour, still medium to high on the booty scale. This fabric is also nice and dense, so it's going to give you some good cellulite coverage. Definitely more of a long glute friendly bottom here. I'm definitely excited to try the leggings after this because these are feeling good. All right, Pavoi, if you're watching this, I want these in a pocket version. That would be everything, because then they'd truly be perfect for running. When I tried these several months ago, I was not really a huge fan of them, but I definitely feel like they've made some improvements. This set is just giving functional but cute, and that's really all I want out of a workout brand. To go with the shorts, we have the Pavoi FlexFlow Y-back sports bra, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that sometimes with these like little skinny strap sports bras, they don't have a ton of coverage, but this actually looks like pretty decent coverage. Just a scooping neckline, spaghetti straps, and like the name suggests, a little Y back. The bra is $25.95. I forgot to mention, but the shorts are $24.95. Cheaper than the bra, which I feel like I don't usually see. Then the inside, we do have removable cups and a nice elastic that goes all along the bottom, but it's seamless from the outside. So let's try it on. Very impressed with the coverage of this bra. Like I was saying, there's always so many super minimal strappy bras, but not a lot that have good coverage like this. But this is bordering on full coverage for a spaghetti strap bra, which is just really rare to see. Great side boob coverage, a little scooping in the front, very secure elastic on the inside. And it's one of those elastics that has like that soft lining against your skin, so it's nice and comfortable. Also, I don't really know what happened here, but I ran 6 miles today. 6 miles, guys. So I think I had some chafing from my vest or something. But anyways, you can't run 6 miles without telling everyone about it. So thanks for appreciating that. Anyways, I love how soft this fabric is. This is really a great fabric. I'm all about a soft fabric that has some good hold to it, but still has good stretch, because sometimes they don't have enough stretch. This still has good stretch. The support is low to medium. I've seen worse. And then you just get the little V-back, scoops nicely away from the lats back there. This is a very solid sports bra. And lastly, we have a couple shorts from AUROLA. They've been launching a lot of these influence shorts recently. Definitely trying to be similar to the Define Impact shorts, but they have a ton of inseam options, a ton of color options. So I got a size small. I think these are the 5.5 inch. I measured a 5.5 inch, but then when I actually go back to the webpage, it doesn't look like they have a 5.5 in this color. So I don't know. I hate when like the inseams aren't what they say, but we have some options for my seamless short girlies. So we have a 3-tiered waistband that dips down a little bit in the front, a thick, dense, seamless material. Here's that material up close, going to be very durable, but their material has a ton of stretch to it. I have tried the Define Impact shorts and those are always super, super tight, and these are much more stretchy. So definitely not exactly the same. In the back, the waistband is kind of sewn on into a little V, and then the scrunch is just some stitching in the back. It's pretty thick compared to like an Amplify scrunch. And then the fabric that covers the glute area is a little bit thinner than the rest, so it doesn't squish your glutes down. Let's try them on. And I also have another color in a slightly longer inseam, so we can try both. Here we are. This is the 5.5 and got a nice high rise, like maybe a teeny bit under high rise. Definitely showing a little bit of belly button here. We have that compressive 3-tiered waistband. Very true to size on these. I think the length is good. This is probably as short as I could go without them rolling, so it's good for me. And really not too much sausaging of the thighs down there. Compared to the actual like Define shorts, I feel like these are a lot stretchier. Like I still have a good amount of give to them. So personally, I like that, but I'm not getting like a ton of under glute compression. This area is a little bit more dense, so it's hiding cellulite well, but I don't feel like I'm getting like a ton of lift. The scrunches on these are pretty wide, so they're definitely prominent, but it shows a little extra because my light shines directly on them, but definitely very flattering on the glutes, at least medium to high on the booty scale. I feel like we've seen better. The seams do curve above the glutes there. So yeah, personally, these don't beat like an Amplify seamless for me, but I'm glad that they were a little bit stretchier than I was expecting. All right, and here we are with the 6.5 inch shorts. Again, very stretchy, more of like a low to medium compression. Felt like these were supposed to be very compressive, but I think I could size down in them because I'm getting a little bit of room just above the glutes. This is a thinner area over the cheeks, just so it doesn't squish the glutes down. And I think if I size down, I would get more of that like compression and lift that these are supposed to give, but I actually like how they feel. They're definitely not as rigid and stiff as I was expecting. I mean, when I've tried the Define leggings in the past, I literally get like a rug burn on my fingers trying to get them on because they're so stiff, and I definitely did not have that with these. So kind of curious to try the size down to see if that gives a little bit more compression, but I'm still nicely held in these. Super quick to go with that. I do have a bra from them too. This is the AUROLA Mercury sports bra. Very low coverage. It's not made of a seamless material. It's made of just a classic slightly brushed fabric, V-neck, little scrunch detail in the front. Kind of reminds me of the Gymshark minimal sports bra, except I don't think that has a strappy back like this one does, but you got some strappiness back here, and oh, these straps are all removable. So you can probably change these straps up a bit if you desire. Let's try it on. All right, here we are. Definitely not gonna be my go-to bra. Very low coverage, kind of spilling out the bottom and every which way. We do have an elastic at the bottom, little ruching, and a V neckline. Spaghetti straps, and then it splits into a little strappy design in the back. Definitely cute for my smaller busted girlies, but I just saw on the website that they actually have just like a plain scooping seamless bra that I think would be a lot better for me, so I ordered that. We'll see if it comes in time for me to put it in the review. But yeah, also the colors don't perfectly match because this is a non-seamless and the bottom is a seamless, and shouldn't have to say, but very low support. And I do have one last thing. I saw that CRZ came out with this little tennis dress, and it's made of the Butterluxe fabric, which is one of my favorites from them. So I had to try it. It has this little almost sweetheart neckline, spaghetti straps that are adjustable. I hope this is enough of a flare for me. I don't like when tennis dresses are like too clingy to my body. Looks like it's going to be snug at the top and then kind of flare at the waist. Oh, so they can make a no front seam bodysuit, but they can't make a no front seam legging? CRZ Yoga, I want the leggings in a no front seam. They did recently come out with a no front seam flare legging, but they only come in like a 31 inch inseam. I can't wear them. So I'm waiting for a no front seam in like reasonable inseams or just like their basic leggings. If they made like a butter lift pocket legging with no front seam, I'd be all over it. So no front seam, extended gusset, and oh, little pockets on both sides. Let's try it on. Here is the dress. I forgot to mention, but I'll insert a little clip. There is also a full shelf liner with cup pads. Like, I can't express to you how excited that makes me feel, because normally with these active dresses, they just throw in some pads and think that's called support. That's not support. So full built-in bra in this one. The neckline is super cute. We have those little spaghetti straps. It's more fitted along the waist and then flares out a little bit. This is a pretty minimally flaring dress though. It doesn't have a whole lot of volume to it. That's all gonna come down to your personal preferences, but I personally like a skirt with a little bit more movement to it. I just don't like when things cling to my belly, and throughout the day, your girl gets a little bit bloated. So it's just like not something I like. And when you have a brush fabric against a brush fabric, it can just kind of cling a little bit. So I would prefer something with a little more movement, but the bra area is great. Solid medium to high coverage. The support is low to medium. The length is pretty short, pretty typical for an active dress. You kind of will see the shorts a little bit when you lean over. The back, I was very glad to see adjustable straps there, but unfortunately I am getting some tenting of the bodysuit and the dress in general. So it definitely runs a little bit big in the waist here. I hate when this happens, and this is something I get on a lot of active dresses. So definitely consider sizing down. I don't think I can size down in this one just because of my height. It would be difficult, but if you're not tall, I'd probably size down just so you can avoid that gaping in the back. Inner shorts, no front seam. I love to see it. I'll put the inseam on the end of the screen just because I haven't measured it yet, but I love the addition of the pockets here. No front seam so we don't get any discomfort, and this is the Butterluxe material, so it's nice and lightweight and stretchy. So I think this dress is super cute in theory, just not everything I'm looking for in the fit is just a little bit off for me. I kind of expected that though, because I do often have to size down in CRZ Yoga just to make sure things aren't loose on my waist. Okay guys, that is everything for my little affordable activewear update. I hope you guys enjoyed. There are a lot of great pieces in this video. I think if you're into more of like a low impact, go for the Colorfulkoala, the Ingia. If you like your fabrics a little bit more dense, a little bit more supportive, I'd go for that Unissu or the Pavoi. And this is not an extensive affordable activewear video. There are so many other great brands out there, but I always like trying what's new out there to bring you guys new options. And I think we found some good brands today. So let me know if you've tried any of these pieces down below. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do so. It's free. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.